We're ready. The audience isn't.
Okay, so there we go. We should be live. Then suddenly Owlbear decides to not show the map in the right spot. There we go. Okay. It looks like we're live. And we have audio. Excellent. Okay, well, this is your CK. I'm Sam, and I am here with my awesome players, and I don't know what order we're going to go in, so let's start with Chris.
Hey, evening everyone, I'm Chris. I'm playing Leanise Wollender, who is a high elf, but she's also Oraalau as a class.
And Alex.
Hey guys, I'm Alex. I'm playing Gillian Flynn, a halfling archer.
And George.
I'm playing Jake Tilldor, Cleric of Durendale.
And Robert.
Hello, everyone. Playing Rekmit Sourbeard, a Dwarven Runemark who somehow still hasn't died.
And Matt.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Matt. Tonight I am playing the Gnome character since Zeno the Monk is off training. Bestripholme, Morningdawn, but everybody calls him Trip. And I wanted to let everybody know, and my companions, that I thought about Trip's kind of personality, and I don't think as a Primal Druid he would be that kind of joking around. So just forget everything how he acted last week, and he's going to be like more stoic and sagely from now on.
Stoic and sagely.
Aww.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about it, and I was like, he's a gnome, so I always think of gnomes as like little tricksters and, you know, joking around, but I was like, he's a primal druid. He's probably a pretty serious guy.
And who hasn't gone yet? Must be Robert. No, Richard.
Oh,
Sorry, I was going in the wrong direction.
All right. Richard Clayton. I'm playing Burnie Cohlm, our erstwhile bearer of axe. Human, by the way. Or slightly human, anyway.
He wants to be human.
He's trying.
He's very trying.
Who wants to
That too.
Who wants to do the recap?
I haven't done one yet, so yeah, I'll give it a go. Might need some people to fill in the holes that I missed, but you get a gist of it at least. If I remember correctly, we started right after defeating that goblin camp, and we ran into Trip there, who had watched us, and we decided to head back to Indelhofen, and Trip accompanied us back. We just kind of settled up in Indelhofen for a little bit. Zeno and Bert kind of shuffled off to get their training done. We were introduced to Gillian in the tavern, and then we headed out to the Oxwood looking for the missing acolytes, and we traced down the beach, found some tracks leading from where their boat was last found. We followed those tracks up into the woods where they all kind of split off, and I think we followed one of the trails heading up to the northeast, and ran into a clearing with a large dirt mound. Trip, I think, went to go kind of scout it out, but Rekmit got a little impatient, and we just walked up to it, ran into some skeletons, took those out with relative ease, and I think we found an entrance right before we called it that night.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else have anything to add?
When you say that Trip watched from the woods, he helped out in his own mysterious ways.
Yeah, we did. I want to mention that we did run into some skeletons. We had a bit of a battle with some skeletons.
That is true. There were some skeletons, and they were not human size. They were sort of weird goblin size skeletons, and they had sort of a greenish hue in their eye sockets. So, there you go. Okay. And I remember that Burnie. Well, so I think Jake noticed that there was an area sort of trampled, an area in front of this huge mound of dirt that was sort of trampled.
Yes.
And then Burnie started trying to dig at the hill, and ultimately, at the end of the session, uncovered a large rusty metal gate with extreme darkness beyond, but it looks like a set of stairs leading down into the earth beyond it. And we ended there, so what would you like to do?
What time of day is it?
It's, I believe, the afternoon, because I think you left in the morning. Is that correct?
Yes.
Let me check
Yes.
my notes here.
Yeah, I think it was relatively early when we set out.
Yeah. Because you got a good night's sleep, so... Right now...
Yeah, if I recall, we were trying to pull open that thing, and that's when we got attacked.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And then Rekmit tried to crawl on top of the mound and didn't do so good.
That's right, he fell down.
So there's like bars in front of the doors, right? Wasn't there bars blocking?
Yeah, there is a sort of rusted metal gate that is blocking the entrance.
Are they spaced far enough that a gnome would be able to fit in between them, or?
You probably could fit in between them. It smells pretty musty
We'll
down
make
there.
it fit.
We have oil. You can grease them up.
It smells pretty musty down there, but otherwise it doesn't seem as if you're going to have any issues here.
Well, Master Dwarf, can you tell by the construction of this mound? Is it made for any specific purpose, or a Cleric of Durendale? Is it a burial mound of some kind?
In my esteemed experience, it's meant to confound dwarves climbing on top of it. That much I know for certain.
And it is definitely a burial mound. Fairly new.
I will go up to the bars, squeeze in just past the step, and use my dark vision to look down the stairs.
Yeah. I have one question. Is there a lock on this gate?
Yeah, you could probably open the door.
Yeah.
It does.
Just go up and open the door.
You don't see a lock.
Let's let the gnome try and squeeze through first. And then open.
Sure. Yeah. Why don't we try and open it?
Are you going to have the gnome squeeze through first?
I don't know. Do you want to squeeze through first?
I mean, since I already said it, I'm not going to take it back. So yeah, I'll squeeze through.
You should probably tie a rope to his foot in case he falls on down.
No, then if you pull me backwards, the bars might go between my legs.
And?
Right. So how does the door open? Or how would it appear to open normally?
It looks like it probably used to pull out. You can see in the gap between where the two, because it's two gates. It's two sort of door-sized gates, and you can see in the gap where they meet in the middle, there's a plate behind it, as if that's meant to stop it, so that when it shuts inward, it doesn't just flop inward.
Okay.
If that makes
so
sense.
These doors fairly new as well? Like the outside was kind of new construction, correct?
The outside mound looks like it's been well cared for. I don't know new. I'm not sure you determined it's new. It just looks like it's at least the top layer of dirt is at least new, because the mound itself has been cared for.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to grab hold of one side of the gate and try to pull that thing open.
Okay. The gate is actually pretty rusty, so it even if it's new, there's obviously some moisture. So
Yeah.
yeah, you pull the gate open just fine.
Oh. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Is there any rubble inside on the stairs?
There's no rubble inside. It's so.
I'm gonna try to find a large clod of dirt or something that I can throw down the stairs.
Okay.
Make sure in case it triggers anything.
Okay. You notice immediately that the stairs look pretty slick, like they have either condensation or dripping water on them, although you do not hear any drips. If you take a piece of dirt, a clod of dirt, and you throw it down, you hear it splash into water.
From the light coming through, how many stairs? What do we see around the stairs?
You just see stairs down 10 or 20 feet down, and at the bottom it's pitch black.
Okay, so the stairs have got walls on the other side?
Yeah, correct. The stairs have walls on the side.
Can I see anything further than that with dark vision?
You see that it looks like it opens up at the bottom of the stairs, but there's definitely like a layer of water that's above the bottom stairs. The bottom stair, the single bottom stair. But other than that, you don't see much beyond. Because the ceiling slopes down, so your view is sort of at an angle. And you see that the room opens out, but there's a bunch of fluid there at the bottom where that step is.
Light a torch and head down.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
I've unlocked the door from the inside, so everyone can enter.
Let's go down and just check the stairs for traps and stuff as we go. At least prod at them.
Okay.
Do we want to line up with a marching order just on
Yep.
Albert, so that way?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'll actually... I'm gonna actually throw a new map up here, so you might as well
That works.
hold off on...
Just start tripping up the wrong neck.
Oh, that's not it.
I was gonna say we got Bert with us to go first, but I forgot we don't have Bert with us.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got to slug off.
We've got to do this the old-fashioned way.
So here's a new... So we'll start with... Oops. I'm going to start it right here. Here's the door. That black line is the door. Okay. Let me go ahead and I'll put the stairs on here, and then I'll let one of you take over with the drawing here. So so at this point, each of these squares is 5 feet on this map. And so here's the stairs. I'm just putting some hash marks in here so that you see that those are the stairs. Okay.
Got it.
Well, Leanie's got a 10-foot pole if you want to go front. Prodding on the stairs as we go down. If someone can kind of keep an eye on the walls and the ceiling.
Sounds good.
Okay, I've stoned my big axe, got one of my hand axes out, and a torch in the other hand.
Okay.
Whereabouts are you in the order? Do I need a torch in that case?
I'm right behind you.
Just
George.
behind
You're
you.
right behind me. There we go. Sorry, I need to zoom in a bit. There we go.
Okay, so Leanise prods the first 2 or 3 stairs and does not notice any kind of trap or weakness or anything. The stairs are made of stone, not dirt.
Okay.
When we get about halfway down, 10 feet, I'm gonna make a listen to see if I can hear
I was just
anything.
going to say. Okay.
Okay.
We both do that.
Wanna roll me a wisdom siege check?
Gnomes have super sensitive hearing. But even with the super sensitive hearing, 4 might not do it. That's going to be 4, 5, 6 plus 3 is 9, and that's prime.
You don't hear anything other than now you're hearing drips. So remember, when you opened the gates, you didn't hear any drip, but you noticed the water at the bottom, but you didn't hear anything. But now you do hear some pretty consistent dripping.
Okay. And Leanise is going to check too. Pretty good. Eric. Oh, 20. 23 total.
Leanise hears more dripping.
Okay.
Okay.
Get down to the bottom of the stairs here.
So
Yeah.
we'll go. How far do the stairs go? You said 20 feet?
They go about 20 feet down. And they're very steep.
Yeah. So we're going slowly and prodding as we go.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
you said there's water on the very bottom step?
the last step has about an inch of water sitting on top of it.
Okay, so I'm going to keep off the last step.
Yeah, and the step is if you're judging by the steepness of the other steps, that step is probably about 8 inches off of the ground, and it's got a 1-inch layer of water on it. So whatever water is in here is at least 8 or 9, maybe 10 inches high from the floor.
Got it. Leanise will then take the pole and prod the bottom step, and then move onto then prod the ground in front of it.
Okay.
See how deep it is.
So who's got a light source?
Burnie.
I do.
Okay.
He's right behind you.
Yeah.
Question is, what else do we see as we come down?
Yeah, that's gonna be my question.
I'm sorry, who are the two people with light sources?
I don't know if there's two people. I have a torch.
Okay. Then, in that case, Jake will light a torch too.
Okay. So, Leanise, are you standing on the bottom step, or?
No, the one above it.
Okay.
And I'm prodding the water to see how deep it goes beyond
Okay.
the first step.
And I assume you're like bending down and trying to look beyond the actual step.
Yes,
Or, okay.
I'm assuming we're down.
Okay.
Fairly.
The water feels like it's about maybe a foot, maybe 12 inches, 12, 13 inches. Okay. So it's a pretty ample layer of water. And it doesn't appear to be flowing, so it's not sort of coming in and flowing through. It just feels very still. But you do hear dripping, so you know that water is dripping from somewhere and it's sort of hitting whatever water's already there. When you look beyond the sort of where the stairs end and you look out in front of you, you see a circular room. It opens into a circular room. There are 2 large stone sarcophagi in the room.
How big is the room?
It is a 50-foot diameter.
These are 5 foot square.
Yeah.
Did you have to say how far down the stairs went? How deep we are?
20. It looks like 20, 25 feet because they're very steep. Yeah, so.
I move stuff.
So the room is circular?
Oops. The room is circular, yeah. So hold on. Let me go ahead and...
Does it?
It's... Oh, whoops. Dang it. Forgot about that. It is...
How are you making it darker like that?
So the button that looks like a little teardrop that has a light side and a dark side, one of those makes it opaque and one of them makes it see-through.
Got it.
So there's the... Now, the room... So, let's just make this super easy. The 2 sarcophagi are right here. And there's a pillar here, a pillar here, a pillar here, and a pillar here. And there is a gate there and a gate there. They are... Yeah, rusty iron portcullis style gates.
Hmm.
Okay.
Leanise is going to take a couple of coins and just going to throw them into the room, one over towards the right sarcophagi and the other one across the left one.
Okay. The coins hit the water. You hear them hit the water. And about 20 seconds later, you hear something coming from the north room.
Huh.
Well, it's not really to the north. Well, yeah, it is to the north, sorry. But you can't tell what it is. It just sounds like something moving through the water.
Okay. I hear something coming. It just looks back.
Thinking if we're gonna fight something, we don't want to do it all bunched up in this corner room.
I'm gonna relay back to Cleric. There's 2 sarcophagi in here. In his mind, all clerics deal with the
Go
dead.
grab some steaks.
So, nothing happened to my staff when I put it in the water?
That's correct.
Alright, I'm going to step on the first step and go down 1.
Okay.
So, Jake is going to cast light on a coin,
Okay.
like a copper piece,
Mm-hmm.
and pass it forward to Rekmit and tell him to pass it forward. Keep passing it forward.
And Leanise will go back and say, there's about a foot of water in here.
I'll hand the little coin to Gil.
He'll hand it forward on to Burnie.
In building, we did it.
Teamwork.
Oh, I thought I was thinking in a target group. If you toss the coin,
Yep, so Leanise will take it. So even in the water, we shall shout back.
is it clear water?
We'll find out. So Leanise will take the coin and she'll toss it somewhere towards the middle of the room for maximum effect. Maybe slightly towards the north.
I'm assuming because we're coming down steps and everything that at the angle I'm at, I can't.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. That's right. So the coin goes into the room, into the water, and you hear it hit something, probably the sarcophagus, and then it goes into the water. And it's now illuminating the water at the foot of this sarcophagus to the north. Okay. The water's pretty murky, but it's not like muddy. It's just dirty. Like it has some like fungal, like
vitamins.
not fungal. It has like algae growing in it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not completely covered. It's just like there's just some algae in certain places. So.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, nothing happened to Leanise when she stepped onto the steps, so she'll kind of go in, and then she'll turn and see Trip. Trip, you might want to learn to swim.
I think he's taller than a foot, so...
I'm a very good swimmer. Thank you very much.
And she'll kind of head around the corner.
So, Leanise, you see that... the northern gate doorway, it actually, you can see a skeletal hand reaching through it, and a forearm reaching through.
More skeletons.
Hey, Cleric.
See, I already called for him.
Can't get through though if it's behind the gate, so at least we're okay that way.
Yeah, but we may still not want him hanging around. Trying to get through the gate.
Yeah, we should save Durendale's wonder and glory for a larger group.
Trip is going to go over and kind of head by this pillar over here, half intending to hide behind it, but also inspecting it to see if it has any kind of writings or markings on it. See if I can... I mean, I don't have the construction experience of the dwarf, but see if I can... If it's... Recognize it like if it's regular human construction.
I'm going to go ahead and move out to where I can see this creature that's in there.
So Trip, the column looks like a typical human-made column. There's nothing special about it. There's no decoration on it. It does have algae at the bottom where the water line meets it. So that's pretty much it.
I will take a sample. Yeah. I will take a sample of this algae.
Okay. Burnie, you see at least 3 skeletons sort of trying to reach through the portcullis gate, and they're starting to shake it.
Rekmit's going to work his way down to see if he can see through the...
Jake, why don't you give him a little encouragement to back away?
Yeah, so I'll walk over here and pick up the coin. I assume it was right there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. I'll put that down on the sarcophagus. And
Okay.
I'll put my torch on the sarcophagus as well. And for the ones to the north, I will attempt to turn undead.
Okay.
You know, the lighting just isn't hitting me quite enough to get Durendale to believe in me at this moment. It's a little bit dark and murky down here.
Well, hold my torch closer to.
What did you roll?
As an eyebrow.
Cloak starts on fire.
So I'm assuming that was a very low roll then?
Yeah, that was a 4.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Gillian will go ahead and take a shot through the bars, trying to hit one of the skeletons.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an attack roll.
That comes to 16 total.
That hits.
Be better off with walking over there and hitting him with a stick, guy.
That's what Leanise wander over with a staff.
How much damage does it do, Gillian?
It does 9 points of damage.
Okay. The arrow sort of goes. It's like a perfect shot. It goes through the portcullis bars, and it seems to hit the thing in the rib cage, and it gets stuck for a second, and then the skeleton just sort of grabs it and takes it out and throws it behind him on the ground. And now they're really starting to try to push that portcullis open. The great
assuming
portal.
it's not moving.
Can I swing my mace through the bars?
You probably can't get a full swing, but you could probably try to like poke it in, but you won't get a full swing out of it.
Okay.
Poke it with the handle.
Just like smack their knuckles as they're grabbing the portcullis, just knock their hands in.
If you want, yeah, I mean, you could probably stand and swing in front of the portcullis if they stick their arms out. You can do that.
All right. Leanise will actually go and try and hit them with her staff.
Okay, are you going to poke through the portcullis or just swing down in front of it and try to hit their arms?
I'll try and poke through it. Are their arms actually waving through?
Well, no, now they've got their hands on the bars and they're trying to open it.
No, I'm going to try and poke at them through it.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an attack roll.
Uh, 14. Let's see. Never remember what I got. So strength. Nope, no bonus. Nope. So straight 14.
That's going to hit. Roll me some damage.
Ah, 1 point of damage.
Okay. You hit it, you smack it again in the rib cage, and it kind of steps back for a minute. And then it really starts trying to shake the gate. And now you hear actually from behind you more sounds. And if you look back at the grate to the south, there are some skeletons standing there now as well.
Hey guys, now we got skeletons down here too.
Yeah, I'll try to get rid of those first, Jake. Like get rid of the ones to the north.
I will.
Well, I want to walk over there, and I'll switch over to my mace, and I'm just going to try to crack their fingers off if they're where they've got hold of the bars.
Well, hold on,
At
because
least,
you already attacked, so what's everybody else doing in the meantime?
So while this was going on, this attack round, and Trip was going to go over and inspect the sarcophagus over here.
Okay. There is a name on the sarcophagus, and there is a symbol on the sarcophagus. The name is Elroy Branwallather. I will post it in the Discord. And I'll post a picture of the symbol as well, which you may or may not recognize.
Is it a figure 8?
No, it is not. I will show, let me show the audience. This is the symbol that they see. It looks sort of like a bunch of waves kind of shaped in a circle with a couple of teardrops in the middle that look a little bit like eyeballs.
For clarity, is this the same round that Jake tried to turn, or is it?
Yeah, so we're not technically in combat at this point because they can't get out, but I just want to make sure everybody gets an opportunity to do something before all of you go again. So Jake did something, Leanise did something, Trip did something, Burnie did something, so Rekmit and... Oh, Gillian did something, so
Rat
Rekmit.
shot.
I guess Rekmit will go look at the other side of the sarcophagus that Trip's looking at.
The same sarcophagus or the other sarcophagus?
Yeah, the other sarcophagus is too far
Okay.
away.
You don't see anything else specifically special about this. You also see the name and the circle that looks like waves formed in a circle.
What does the sarcophagus look like? Is it stone constructed?
It is made of stone, yes. And actually, Rekmit would probably recognize this symbol. It's the symbol of Aihrde. Because you've been to the Abbey, which has this symbol sort of all over it.
Interesting.
I mean, for that matter, Trip might have recognized it as well, so I probably should have said that as well. Okay, so let's roll some initiative because they're trying to break through that set of gates now. I rolled a 1.
Go ahead, Trip, you can do it.
Let's see. I rolled a 3.
It's better than a 1.
That works.
It is.
Yep.
Okay, so what would you all like to do? Now we'll actually go in order.
I want to
So
crack some
seeing that
fingers.
the skeletons are becoming more of an issue, Trip is going to go over here and climb on top of this sarcophagus respectfully and launch one of his magic stones at the skeleton to get a better angle on it over Burnie's big body. So he's got the spell Magic Stones, which create magical stones. +1 to hit. They're 1d6 plus 1 damage, but 2d6 plus 2 versus undead. So
Okay.
Ooh, nice.
that's an 18 on the dice.
That's going to hit.
So that's a 20 modified. And for 4 plus 5 points of damage total.
Okay. And that was on the same one that everybody else has been attacking?
Yeah, whichever one's in the front right there.
Okay. So that one has now crumbles and falls to the ground. And behind it, 2 others sort of move forward.
Okay, if they've moved forward, Leanise will poke at them again. 14 again.
That's going to hit.
Oh, great. 2 points of damage this time.
Double
Okay.
from last time.
Okay. Who else?
Is turn on.
Well, I will try to attack.
Go ahead, Bernie.
If there's anything to attack, like if they have hands on the grill,
Mm-hmm.
okay. That's an 11.
That is going to miss. They see you coming and they move their hands out of the way.
Yeah.
They have, when they do that, their eyes start glowing green a little bit, kind of like the ones outside. Okay, so who has not gone yet?
Gillian's thinking, alright, Trip's got a pretty smart idea here, so he's going to scramble up on the other sarcophagus, respectfully, of course, and take a shot out the southern gate here.
Okay.
That's a 1. That'll be a big miss.
Yeah, that's a big miss. Who am I missing? Okay. Okay, so that was Gillian. Trip. What did Trip do? He
Did
cast a
magic spell.
spell. What did Jake do?
I threw the stone.
Oh, that's right. You threw the stone. Burnie attacked. Leanise, did you do anything yet?
Yeah, I poked at one for a couple of points of damage.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
So, Jake, here's a quick question, Sam. Is turn undead a move action or not? It doesn't specify that I see.
Is it a move action? No.
So you're basically just holding your symbol out.
It's
And
yeah, it's like it's a casting action basically, or a generic action.
So I will move 30 feet to the south or so,
Okay.
and then I'm done.
Okay.
well, I think you can move and turn.
Yeah, well, I know you can't move and cast a spell because
Yeah.
Steve yelled at me about
Right.
that. I don't
Well, that's
know
why-
if I don't know if turning is considered a spell though.
Yeah, it's kind of in between a spell and an attack, so generally it's you have to kind of concentrate on it and muster yourself. So you generally can't do it after moving.
Can you do it and then move?
No.
So there's our answer.
I'm just going to go check on the North sarcophagus and look and see if there's a name and symbol on there.
There is Patrice Branwallether with the same symbol on it. Okay, so gonna make a roll here.
Seeing as I wasn't able to attack, I would be ready to attack. Or, you know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah. So they are shaking the portcullis even more, and those of you that are close get the feeling that that thing is going to give way any moment now. And then we roll initiative again.
Okay.
Or are we going to do it where you keep rolling until you lose, or do we just want to
Might
do
as
round
well.
robin it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go.
I got a 4 on that time.
I did as well. Reroll
3.
2.
Ooh.
I see that.
Romantic. Well,
And foiled by dice.
You all get to go.
All right, Gillian will take another shot down the south.
Okay.
Ooh, a little better. That's a 20.
That's definitely going to hit.
23 total. For 5 points of damage.
oh, nice.
Okay. Again, your arrows are hitting, but then either being removed or hitting and glancing off. Who's next?
I will throw another magic stone at the next skeleton to the north.
Okay.
7 plus 5 is 13.
That is
No,
a
12.
miss. Miss.
All right, I'll poke again. 15.
That hits.
Oh, yeah, I could do damage. For another 2 points of damage.
All right.
That's right. Helps and cuts, right?
Every little bit helps.
Yeah.
Jake, Rekmit.
Jake's going to try to turn undead to the south,
Okay.
holding up his holy symbol. He will call upon the powers of Durendale to send these creatures back walking home. An 18
Yes.
die, and I turn 3 undead.
Okay. Okay. Oh, who the hell was texting me?
Your boss.
Yeah. Coworker. Okay, so you turned 3 of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, I would be still there.
Yeah, so you see these, they move away from the grate and get out of the way. Let me put a putting a purple circle on the ones that are turned.
Yeah.
There's actually, as they move away, you see 3 more come up there. Okay. So that was Jake, Rekmit.
He moved up behind Gil and Jake.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
Okay, I'll take another swing and see if I can catch a hand or fingers or something again. Nah, 13.
Just misses. Okay. At that point, these things break down the gate, not to the south, but to the north, because they've been working on it a little bit longer. And the gate flies open, and they come forward. 2 of them come forward. The others are stuck back in the hallway. And 2 of them are going to attack. One's going to attack Burnie, one is going to attack Leanise. So here is the attack roll versus Burnie. 3, that's going to miss. The attack roll versus Leanise. 17 on the die.
Well, that'll hit.
Okay, so Leanise takes 2 damage from this thing's short sword. So 2 piercing damage. And you see the ones in the south are really like shoving and shaking that portcullis, and you could tell they're probably going to break through that any second now. And so we roll initiative again.
8.
I rolled a 10. Those 2 skeletons are going to attack Burnie and Leanise again. Burnie, I rolled a 15. Leanise, I rolled a 6. Does a 15 hit Burnie? Probably no.
Yes, it does.
Oh, yeah, barely. Burnie takes 3 damage from its short sword. And these 3 down south break through that gate and move out. But they expended all of their actions doing so, so they do not attack yet. And now it is everyone else's turn.
Okay. I did not hear the number. It froze.
What?
Do we need to retreat or lure?
How much damage did I take?
Oh, sorry, 3.
I think you might have just dropped there.
Richard dropped. Expeditious retreat or lure?
I think we can take these guys. So Trip, thinking that the angle of his trajectory might be wrong, he moves over to the other side of the sarcophagus to get a better angle between Burnie and Leanise, firing his last magical stone for 14.
That will hit.
Oh, these damage dice are wrecking me. 5 points of damage on 2d6.
So which one are you attacking? They're numbered now, so you can...
Number 3.
Number 3, okay. How much? 5? Okay.
Yep.
All right. So that was... Trip. Who's next?
I'll go.
Go ahead.
That'll be a 15
That is a hit.
for 8 points of damage.
Nice hit.
That's on number 2. Okay.
Yeah.
That actually destroys number 2. It breaks into a bunch of bones and falls down into the water. You hear splashes.
And I need to ask again, what damage did I take last time? It froze again when you said the second time as well. 3. Okay.
3. Yeah,
Thank
3
you.
damage. It wants to protect you from taking that damage.
Yes, it does. You should take that as a hint.
All right, Leanise will swing at number 3. It gets a good swing now that it's moved forward. There's not a gate in the way.
Yes.
Yes.
14.
That is a hit.
Yeah. Oh. Obviously hitting the bad parts, 1 point of damage.
Actually, that's enough this time to take it out.
3 hits. 4 hits.
3 or 4 hits to dispatch a lowly goblin
Yeah.
skeleton.
I see that.
Uh,
Leanise is actually going to step back a little bit.
okay.
No, she won't. No, she won't. She'll stay there.
Okay.
Otherwise, he'll come swarming out.
Who's next? We've got Gillian, Jake, and Rekmit.
Jake will go. And that's only a 11 to try to turn.
Wait, what are you doing? You're trying to turn these again?
Yeah.
All right, so let me check something real quick.
11 total with all your modifiers.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Don't worry, Jake. I got this.
Good.
Glad someone does.
Do we need to close our eyes again like all the other times you say that?
Hey. Probably, because it'd be too, I don't want to take your faith out of Durendale and put it in Rekmit.
There you go. There you go. We'll talk about blasphemy later.
Who?
Oh, you'll learn.
That's next week's lesson.
My God is greater than your God. So I respect all gods. Sort of.
All right, so while Samuel was looking that up, what do you guys think? So this magic stone spell, I create 3 pebbles of rocks no larger than sling bullets to strike with great force when thrown or slung. The creature uses stones to make normal range attack +1. Each does blah, blah, blah. For the duration, it says NA. So does that mean I can just pick them up and use them again?
I would think the stone itself would expel its power once thrown.
I think
Because-
DNA is.
Yeah. That's what
It's-
I've always read.
It's basically you instantaneously imbue those stones with the power, and then once they're used, it's gone.
You get like 3 attacks because you have your 3 stones, so
Yeah.
it makes sense.
So turning undead is a special ranged attack. That's what the book says. And so Jake, you rolled an 11 to turn this set of 3 here.
Right,
That's not enough.
right.
And upon seeing that, Rekmit is going to reach up on the top of the sarcophagus between Gil's legs, and do a little rune, a little circle with a little raise off of it, and put a lure rune right on top of that sarcophagus. Gil,
Oh, great. It's
Giant-
going to be a
So-
word to the sarcophagus.
Gil, I just want you to know that Rekmit just put a rune right in your crotch.
no. His legs,
Hello.
not that short. Wait,
I'm not quite the gnome, yeah.
are you wearing a skirt?
Nope. No.
Okay, then we're safe.
Yeah, we're good.
Otherwise, it might look weird.
How tall are these sarcophagi? Did we?
The light starts shining from beneath him.
The sarcophagus is about 5 feet off the ground. I mean, the top of it's about 5 feet off the ground.
Okay, so then we're definitely getting off of it, and then I'll kind of come around to the side here and take a shot at 10.
So you're jumping off, or what are you?
Yeah, kind of jumping off back and then heading over to the side there.
That's fine.
I was gonna try to shoot over it, but I'm too short.
So, number 12 is going to get an attack on you when you move like that.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, I gotta get off it one way or another, so I'll take the swing as I go.
I rolled a 19 on the die.
Oh yeah, that definitely hits.
Ooh.
Wouldn't the lore take place first, or did it?
Everything's kind of simultaneous, so...
Yeah, so the thing is, Gil has a rough choice, because if he stays there and if he doesn't move as Rekmit's casting the rune and making the lure, then it's going to be troublesome for him, because he might fall prey to the lure and just stand there, right?
Yep.
So if he moves, that's fine, but then he gets the skeleton's going to take a swing before the lure comes into effect fully. So 5 damage though, Gil. Painful.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I rolled high. I'm not sorry, but whatever. I rolled high. And so let's see. What's the save on that lure? Is it
Wisdom.
Wisdom? Okay.
And now we know the CK does not like rangers.
Fail. The 3 up top fail. Pass. Number 6 up there succeeded, and everybody else failed. So these 3 are going to stay where they are. And
do they have to see it? Because would 4, 5, and 6 be able to see it?
It gives off a shimmering effect of some sort, so it kind of calls to them as long as it's within their sort of range of sight, right?
Nice.
Does
And he put
that mean we technically have to all make saves then?
So the way I was ruling it before was basically he tells you all, don't look at it, and as long as you don't look at it, you're okay.
Okay.
Right. But if something happens and you move around it again and stuff, then there's a chance that you'll have to make a save because you might accidentally look at it. But I don't do that to you. I assume that you all have worked together enough now in the past few days, and you know enough that when he does that, you don't look at it.
Oh, Gil and Trip are in trouble.
I think we'll be ready to fight a Medusa in the future, just because of that.
From the respect to the brightness, I think it says it's like the light of 10 torches.
Yeah, so the problem is that it pulls them in. They are compelled to try to get within 20 feet of it, which means that 4 and 5 are going to try to move to right here, which means Burnie and Leanise get an attack on them as they try to move by.
Ooh.
And by now you will know that if you do attack them, they get another save at a higher... They have a better chance of coming out of it.
Yeah. I hit with a 21.
Okay, that hits.
I missed. What about it?
For 4 points of damage.
Okay, so number 5 bursts into 100 bones.
I never even considered that as a tactical option for this.
And that was their turn, because now they're lured. Except no, that's not true. Number 6 can run up and attack. Number 6 will run up to here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, it's going to attack Burnie. 4, 5, 6, it's going to attack Leanise. That was a 1, so it attacks Burnie. And a rolled a 5, so it misses. It's swinging madly, trying to hit Burnie and misses. Roll initiative. I rolled a 10.
So
I lost, so it's somebody else. Burnie?
Okay, I'll roll. Oh, I lost 2.
Okay, so the good news there is that these things are lured in, and they don't get a save for 4 rounds unless you attack them. Bad news.
Attack number 4.
The bad news is that Leanise is getting attacked by number 6, and I rolled a 19.
That hits.
Leanise takes 4 damage.
Ouch, Leanise is looking kind of weird.
Yeah. And number 4 took an attack from Leanise, so gets to actually make a save, and it fails miserably. So it is still lured in. So that is their turn. Now you all get to go. So 10, 11, and 12 are lured in. 6 is not lured. 4 is lured. And the other 3 that are down here are staying away from everyone because they have been turned. So they're trying to run as far away as they can from... They're cowering, basically.
So my roll was a 23.
Okay.
And I would have hit him for 5 damage. I was assuming it hit since the 21 hit.
It does hit, yes. Okay. It is still up.
Leanise will swing.
Ooh. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Ooh, and misses.
Okay.
Lost my rolls.
What's everyone else doing?
Chirp is going to jump off the sarcophagus since he's out of rocks and squeeze in here next to Burnie. 6 is the one that's still awake, right?
That's correct.
I'm going to pull out my Gladius for a 16 on the dice, which is a 15 to hit.
Yes, that hits.
That's a 1d8, that Gladius. 7 on the dice, but 6 points of damage.
Okay. Still doesn't go down.
Ooh, you're right. He is tough.
And Rekmit moved half his distance and used his. No, I can't. No, I can't use a ranged weapon. I have to use ranged, but he missed with his sling on number 6.
Okay. Gil.
Gil will climb up where Trip was just standing and take a shot at number 6. If he can kind of get a clear shot between Burnie and Trip, maybe.
Yeah, sure. Just don't roll a 1.
Oh, watch that happen now.
Yep. That's why I said it.
Oh, no, that's not bad. That's an 18 total.
That hits.
Oh, and I did not roll a 1 while throwing the sling past Leanise.
4 points of damage.
And that finally takes that one out. So number 6 bursts into a pile of bones. So there are 4 here that are lured in, and there are 3 that are cowering in the other room. So you can pretty safely ignore those 4 if you want to, or you can attack them. If you attack them, they're going to get saves.
I mean, we could all attack one at a time.
Yeah, we could just pile on number 4 first and then kind of work our way around.
Yeah. So since they're lured, they're going to automatically fail initiative, so you can go ahead and go again.
All right, so everybody attack number 4. That is a 16 for Trip with a damage of... Oh. All right, so I rolled a 1, but I got a -1 bonus, so it's at least 1 point,
Yeah,
right?
so minimum damage is 1 always. Okay, so it takes 1 damage. Who else?
Gillian got a 15 or 15 total to hit,
That
and
hits.
then 8 points of damage.
Okay, that's going to take that one out. So number 4 is gone.
Okay.
Well,
I'll
Burnie
take
will
the
go
number-
after one of
Yeah,
these
number
over
11.
here by Jake. I got a nat 20, so 24 to hit,
Okay.
and it'd be 7 points of damage. Or 6 points of damage, excuse me.
Okay, so that one's gone.
Leanise is just going to go around not looking at the lure.
Jake, you had moved, but you can still move if you want to get behind 12 instead of being behind 11.
That'll be. I hit AC 18.
Okay, that
and
hits.
for 3 points of slashing damage.
Okay. All right, it's still up. Leanise, you moved. Are you going to attack?
No. My bow's not do much.
Okay, so 12 does not save. Okay, you all get to go again. They're going to automatically lose initiative.
Go ahead, Jake.
Uh,
Going up. I rolled a 16 with my rapier.
Oh, Rekmit's ready to go.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Feels like
roll the
How much?
damage.
A whole 1.
Okay, it's still up.
Leanise will swing her staff. 2. No.
What did Jake get?
Jake hits armor class 16,
That hits.
and that'll be 8 points of slashing damage.
Okay, still up.
I got on the other one. I rolled an 18 for 6 points of damage.
Okay. It's number 10. Okay. Still up. Trip and Gil.
Gil took a shot at the one Burnie attacked, and we hit armor class 21
Okay.
for 3 points of damage.
Okay.
It is piercing damage with the
Yep. Still up.
I wish I could have done this damage with the rocks, but I got an 18, which is a 17 modified, 5 points of damage.
Okay. So, was that against 10 or 12?
That's against 10. I jumped back up on the sarcophagus.
10 is gone. There's one left. He gets to make a save. I do not make it. Boy, that lure is just fantastic. Trip, you need to make a saving throw, though, because you're now next to the lure.
Even at +4, I was like, we could get a save here somewhere.
Got it. Trip's wisdom savings throw is an 11, and that is prime.
Trip is now fascinated by the lure on top of the sarcophagus.
Excellent.
Kill the zombie. What? What's that shiny thing?
The rest of you get to go.
On Rekmit's side of his mouth.
Well, I'm heading in this room. Coming down to this one. You little fella, like how you're cowering there. Just a 10.
I'm not sure you could have reached him anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that would have been quite a go.
Where would you think I would be at?
Let's see, you were here.
If you're running, you just couldn't hit him.
Yeah,
Okay.
you'd be about there. Yeah, if you ran, though, you wouldn't be able to attack. So,
Okay.
Leanise is running up to this one.
okay.
Just that's what you can do.
All right. Rekmit?
I'm swinging at air. I can't even hit something that's lured.
Jake?
Jake is going to stand inside the room, but he cannot attack without breaking the turn, so he will just remain there.
Okay. Gil?
So we'll pop over here and take a shot off at number 12.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought number 12 was dead for some reason, with everyone running into the next room.
Where are you going?
Yeah,
You guys had it surrounded, so I didn't figure I was needed.
yeah.
Really missed there, so finished off, Jake.
So Jake hits, and that'll be 3 points of damage.
Yeah, that's going to finish it off.
Jake, I appreciate your victory, but, this is like swinging a sword.
All right, so I believe that cowering creatures take a... you get a +2 to hit them.
Correct.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct. +2 to hit. So you can all go. They automatically lose because they're turned.
Okay. Well, I got a 20
That hits.
or 22 with the extra +2 for 7 points of damage.
Okay, that one's gone.
I rolled a 3. So I'm whiffing it out with my...
You're just teasing it. You're trying to put fear into it.
Exactly. Oh, man.
All right, who else?
Leanise feels a pebble stone bounce and clink up by his boot or foot or whatever he's wearing on his footwear.
He's shooting at you.
It's like, what? Drown.
Jake cannot attack. Trip is lured. What's Gil doing?
Let's see, Gil will come step into the room here. Let's see.
It's so pretty.
So
All the colors.
is Rekmit wounded?
No.
Okay.
We took a shot at the one that Leanise was hitting, but we missed. We didn't miss on a 1, but I rolled a 2. Is Leanise in any danger from that?
So theoretically, yes, but we'll ignore that for right now.
Okay.
Because I think since the thing is cowering, you're probably okay. All right, you all get to go again because they're cowering. They're doing nothing. They can do nothing. They don't even have unlike the other ones, they don't have a chance to save against the turn, right? They could save against the lure after you attack them, but they cannot save against the turn.
Then he's actually going to back away with all these stones coming towards her.
I rolled an 11.
That is a miss. You're feeling bad for the little cowering skeletons.
As Leanise goes across the path of where Rekmit's
I'm
looking,
just tired.
Mound goes by you and hits the skeleton in the bottom finally on the corner there. 2 points of damage.
How much?
2. Like,
And-
Leanise, what?
That actually takes that one out.
Gil
And
took a shot at the same one and hit armor class 21 for 6 points of damage.
okay, and that finishes that one off. All right, so we're out of combat. Whoops.
Leanise looks at Jake. Shouts out to Jake. Healer! Healer!
Jake comes into the room with a handful of bandages.
I could use a little of that too when you get done with him. Or her, excuse me.
I'll go over and give Burnie a bandage.
Yeah, thanks. We've got a bunch of divas in here. Like, bandage, healing, please.
So I want to tell you though that combat was 9 rounds, and bandages have to be used within 4 rounds.
When did
Right.
Burnie when did you get hit?
I got hit right at the first, so I guess you can't use it on me.
Nope, I'm just going to bend down. I'm going to look at my bandage, look at him, put it in my pack, bend down, pick up my bullet, and put it in my little pouch.
Yeah, I was hit with it.
And just look at the wall and observe it, look at it, go, see what this looks like.
So all that to say, that means that when we start getting in the middle of combat, you're going to have to be cognizant of saying "I'm hurt" in the middle of combat, so that people can apply bandages. Because curing up those 2 hit points and whatnot that you can do with bandages is great, but you have to basically it's a little bit of a sacrifice to take someone's turn to go heal you up, right? Or you sit without the healing. So
Does,
track kind of the rolls as they go. I wouldn't even think.
All right, I'll sit without.
But it goes from the round that you got hit in, right? So let's say if you got
Correct.
hit in the 7th round, then we'd be able to make it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah. And the part is, moving too far away from the party at a given time, will make it harder to heal.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yep. So,
Is this room still wet as well underwater?
yeah, all 3 of these rooms have a foot, maybe foot and a half of water on the
Is there
ground.
anything in this room that we can see?
That you can see? No. I mean, skeleton bones now floating on the water.
Rekmit's gonna check the walls and see if there's any kind of basically looking for secret doors or cliffs or anything.
Leanise will do the same.
Jake is going to make sure that Trip is okay. Is he still lured?
He is. How long does the lure last, Rekmit?
It's sparkling.
How
We've
long?
been letting you determine that. I think it's 2 to 12 rounds. We've been letting you decide that, so I don't really know.
Oh. Let me roll to see.
You said 4 in the beginning there, but
Yeah.
It's pretty, and you can't attack anything that you lure, or what happens?
they have a better chance at saving. It increases that gives them a bonus.
So what happens is you're lured, and then after I think 4 rounds, you get to start saving after each round. But if the person gets attacked, they get to start saving. They get to save as soon as they get attacked. So
And then if they get attacked by Rekmit, they get a better save.
No, if they get attacked by anybody.
yeah, getting attacked by anyone, they get a +4 bonus to their save.
All right, yeah, you're right, Sam. Every 4 melee rounds,
Yeah.
they make a second wisdom save. So every time if it's more than 4 rounds, yeah, cool.
Yeah, and I rolled really abysmally this time, so nobody saved at all. But Trip can roll a save.
That's a 2 on the dice.
It's a really shiny lure.
Really absorbed.
Did Trip take any damage?
Colors, man, the colors.
Trip did not take any damage. He's fine.
Trip's on a trip.
I could just attack Trip to break the spell.
Look at my hand.
Jake,
And I-
you have to start water.
Sometimes healing is painful, right?
Yes.
That's what Durendale says.
Close my eyes, I can see right through them.
Leanise comes and looks at you, but she's looking really battered. Leanise looks like she's only just surviving.
So in the south room, who was looking in the south room?
Leanise was walking around the rooms.
Yeah, I'll give it a look. See, not that that's going to help. Oh, yeah.
On
Be
the
a 5 non-prime.
well, you're just walking around the room looking, right, and shuffling your feet through the water,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So
that's basically what I'm doing. That kind of roll.
on the western wall, on the floor, there is a small wooden crate. The top of it sits 2 or 3 inches under the top of the water level, so it's not visible until you sort of get over there and move your feet around, and then you kick it. And it's about maybe 2 feet long and about 10 inches or so tall. It's a wooden box.
Okay. Well, Leanise, if you can move it with that stick of yours, if nothing terrible happens, I'll pick it up.
Leanise kind of hobbles over and takes a stick and sees if she can prod at it and move it. She'll try and push it.
Yes, but it's heavy.
Okay. Well, I will reach down. Are there handles on it?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, I'll just reach down and grab hold of that thing and see if I can pick it up.
You can. It's kind of slimy. It has like algae all on the wood
Okay.
and whatnot.
Then I'm going to walk out to. Well, I guess I'll go to the sarcophagus without the lure on it, and set that thing on top of the sarcophagus.
Okay.
I think we'll do the same kind of shuffle around this room and look at the columns.
Roll me a wisdom check.
Oh, God. Hole 7.
So Leanise is going to
Does it have a
continue
lock
the
on it?
search of this room.
Say that again, Chris. I missed what Leanise is doing.
Leanise is continuing to search like the walls, around the walls of this room,
Okay.
looking for anything that might be there.
You don't find anything.
Right. And she'll make her way back into the main room.
Leanise, give me a wisdom check.
Five.
Okay.
And it's non-prime.
Okay. What's everybody doing?
Gil will do the same thing in this top room, just kind of shuffle around, look around, try to find something to the north.
Okay.
The lights are magical.
On the western wall, Gil finds just under the water another box similar in shape and size to the one that Burnie found in the other room.
All right, I'll grab it and bring it back to the sarcophagus of the other one.
Okay. So there are now 2 wooden boxes sitting on top of this sarcophagus.
Okay.
And
Locks
do we
on 'em?
still- Is the gnome still lord?
Think so.
Yeah.
I'm going to grapple him.
Okay.
Lift him up, take him off the thing, right?
Yep. So Jake makes a regular melee attack roll. And what's Trip's dex modifier?
Trip's dex modifier is +1.
And what about his strength modifier?
Strength modifier is -1.
Okay. And are either of the let's see. Is your strength a prime?
Neither strength nor dexterity are
Okay.
prime.
So Jake, your target number is going to be 12. So when you make
I make
your
it 12.
yeah.
I think I'm also larger than him, too.
Mhm. Yep.
Hey, that's bigotry right there. Don't be talking about my height.
So when here's the thing, when Jake picks up Trip and tries to bodily move him off of the sarcophagus, Trip gets another save with a +4. So you get a wisdom save with a +4.
This is going to be a 16 this time.
Okay. Is wisdom prime for you?
It is.
Okay, so you have now been broken free of your fascination with the lure.
What are you doing? Put me down this instant. Please, I'm a
Look away
druid.
from the light. You stay away from the light.
Ordy of Mortius. Why are you manhandling me like this?
Dick, stop trying to kiss the gnome.
Never look at the light. Stay away from the light. That's rule number 1 in this group.
And I do recall getting distracted by the light. It was so beautiful and rainbow, prismatic.
Are you back?
I think I am.
You know what? I'm going to baptize him in the dirty water.
No, that's quite all right. You've
going
done
down
quite enough. Thank
for a
you,
sec.
my friend.
See? Welcome back. Durendale be with you.
Okay, so what would you like to do now?
Well,
Trip is going to jump off the sarcophagus. He's
he's already off the sarcophagus because Jake literally picked him up and slammed him down into the water.
Do these have hinged lids or just tops?
You do not see any. You mean the wooden boxes or the sarcophagi?
Yeah.
Oh.
The boxes.
They have hinged lids. The hinges are pretty darn rusty.
Is there a lock on them?
Not that you can see.
Okay, I want to open the one I brought out.
Yeah, we'll go open on 3.
So you're opening both of those boxes then? Is that what I'm hearing?
Might as well.
Yeah, why not?
And as they do that, Rekmit backs up 10 feet.
Yeah, Jake is going to step aside.
Yeah. So both boxes, when you open them, are full of coins and water.
And water. Excellent. We need more water. How many coins?
Well, one of them has a lot of copper in it, and one of them has gold in it. It depends on if you want to spend the time to sit here and count, to be honest. You can't. It's not just a couple, so you can't just tell by looking.
Right. Okay, let's load up on the gold.
Sam, were any of the skeletons their clothing, or what were they wearing? Armor?
Nope, they weren't wearing any armor.
Green glowing eyes. That's what they were wearing.
Yeah, green glowing eyes and short swords.
Were they the same small goblin skeleton shapes?
They were.
Okay. So this is a burial ground of Aihrde?
It seems like it.
Well, the sarcophagi have the symbol of Aihrde on them.
Okay.
Do we want to risk checking the sarcophagi to make sure everything's okay inside, or do we want to leave them alone?
Here's the part.
Are any of you from around the area? Do you recognize these names?
Anybody from town would recognize this name.
Yes, they're a town or a family from the town.
Bran Wallither is the name of the abbot.
Bran Wallither is the name of the abbot. That's interesting.
Do
you know if his family burial tomb is out here, this far from Indeliphin?
Just seems a strange place for a burial tomb for someone, an abbot in town.
I'm also wondering why it was infested with animated skeletons.
Yes.
Well, perhaps I should heal our elf friend before we open the sarcophagus.
Any that gives any indication of what those rooms are?
You froze up, or I froze up, so I didn't hear what you said. Sorry.
I said, looking in those rooms, both the other rooms, is there anything that indicates what their function or why they were built?
In terms of what are you looking for?
On the walls, or there things in the floor I mean, you've got 2 rooms that are gated off that seem to have really nothing in them other than a single. Yeah.
Sorry. My computer keeps freezing, so I closed Owlbear to try to lighten the load on it. And it is only a tiny bit better. But so I missed what you said. But what you said was you're looking for, is there any indication of what those rooms are for, the north and south room?
Right.
I mean,
So got a preparation chambers. Were they?
The rooms are very
Treasure
nondescript.
chambers.
They literally had nothing in them except for those 2 boxes that you found.
And we didn't find any secret doors.
Yeah,
Correct.
maybe it was just. Sort
Looks
of an
like they've been here for a
unfinished
while or
tenant.
recently moved here.
I didn't hear that again. Sorry, my computer's having a cow right now. I don't know what. I don't know if my internet's going in and out or what. But
You wanna take a break and then kind of reboot?
yeah, let's take a break. Unfortunately, I'm streaming, so I can't really reboot the stream, but I can let my computer settle down. So let's go to the let's go to the "We'll be right back" screen, and we'll take a 10-minute break.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right, folks, I apologize for that. Don't know what I still don't have a very good signal, so we might end this game hobbling through with no map or anything, just to keep it light on my system in case it's I'm not sure what the problem is, but we'll figure it out. So. Okay, so.
Alright, so Trip is gonna look at Leanise. Oh my, you are very injured, but please let me administer the healing of the nature to you. But we must go outside. I must be in contact with the earth and the plants.
Okay. These are sort of suspiciously thinking of the.
The halfling.
Yes.
I mean, you can stay in there. I'm going to cast Earthly Essence on Leanise, which is going to heal for. Let's see here. 8 points, max heal.
Oh, wow.
Wow, nice.
Hold on. That doesn't
but-
happen. Because when you get back up the stairs, the gates are closed.
Mm.
Oh. That's interesting.
Uh-oh.
I'm just going to try to push it open since it was so easy to open before.
It does not open.
Well, it appears we may have a problem. I'm going to call down the stairs. The gate is shut. It won't let us out.
Leanise will try and help to see if it's just stiff, but given how early she suspects not. That was earlier. It was much easier.
Yeah, they do not open.
Yeah.
But can they
All
see
right,
out
so
through the
I'm gonna-
gates or be covered up?
That's a good question.
It's still like bars, right? We can still see outside.
But now it's been covered with the giant piece of plywood again.
Really? Can I reach any dirt or earth here?
Richard, I think you're muted there. I don't know if you're talking.
Are the bars
Samuel,
being
can I
stopped
reach-
by the plywood, or are they just not moving?
By the plywood.
Can I? Is there like bits of earth or dirt on the ground that I can touch?
The ground where you're standing right now is stone.
Yeah, right at. And the walls are made out of stone also, or dirt?
Stone.
What's outside the bar?
I would do
Plywood.
my best, but I'm still going to cast Earthly Essence. So what's going to happen, though, is whatever environment we're in, so it says you heal 1d8 points of damage. You're bound to the region that you're healed in for 1 day because that's my level. So whether it's the region of the dungeon or the region of the forest or the region of Indeliphin is kind of up to the CK, I think. It doesn't specify. But you're going to heal 8 points, and you get a +1 bonus to any non-combat related reactions to the environment.
So wait, what are you casting?
Earthly Essence. I'll post it in chat.
Interesting. I never heard that one.
Yo, Burnie, help me open the sarcophagus up while they're off doing their thing.
But if you leave before the day is over, then you lose all the benefits.
Got it.
So you heal for 8, and you get +1 to non-combat reactions related to the environment.
Okay.
And you can read it in chat, Leanise, so you'll know what your bonus is on.
Thanks.
I was just looking for a piece of dirt for a thematic effect, but the stone comes from the earth as well, DM Samuel. You will not stop the power by drawing from nature.
So, do we want to do the one with the lure on it, or are we going to do the one with the crate with the boxes on them?
I guess we should probably leave the boxes right now and go do the lure one.
Okay.
Gil will help. He's short, but he'll try.
So you're going to try to take the lid off of the sarcophagus?
We're going to try to slide it a little bit, just kind of so we can peer inside and see what's going on.
How many people are helping to do that?
3 of us. Unless Jake wants to help too.
Not enough guys for healing. I've been talking to Durendale.
Rekmit's real careful though, because Jake tends not to let him do stuff.
So I'll need a strength siege check from all 3 of you that are attempting to move the sarcophagus lid.
Crud.
I got a 10.
11 prime.
11 prime from Burnie. What did Gil get?
Oh, a 10 non-prime.
10 not prime. And Rekmit?
An 8 not prime.
Oof.
So all 3 of you attempt to sort of... First you try to push the sarcophagus lid off, and it's really stuck. And then you think, well, wait, maybe there's a lip on the other side. So you then try to lift and push, and it's really stuck. And then you look for a seal, like a wax seal all around it, and you can't really see any seal. You just feel the hard stone, and it looks like it's just sitting right on the hard stone of the actual sarcophagus. And so that doesn't help you, and ultimately you stretch and strain for several minutes, and you don't ever end up moving the sarcophagus lid off.
Okay, you got crowbars.
Yep, we do.
Have the other 2 returned down yet?
Oh, not yet. It's probably going to take a little bit.
Jake, you want to kind of help us do this? You're big and strong.
I think we should wait for the others.
They're just off healing. They'll be fine.
But we won't.
We can yell, they'll come back.
We have the power of Durendale and the Allfather on our side.
Nah, we really,
Wardain.
that's the wise thing to do. My impatient friend.
Just gonna take a peek.
That's how it always starts.
Just want to put the tip in there and just look in there a little bit. Just a little.
So I imagine after all this arguing, me and Leanise have finished up our healing business, and I have healed him with the power of stone.
So,
we'll come back down, see them trying to open it, but I'm going to be like, I believe we're buried in here. The door is barred with wood, and I think someone may have covered up the entrance. Perhaps they buried us alive.
See, Jake? We have to open them now.
Yeah,
so
maybe the only way out.
I was just, getting us there faster.
So, would this be typical to have all this water on the floor of a temple?
Not as far as you know.
You said we heard dripping. Have we managed to see any drip?
Oh yeah,
See where
you
that drip-
you see occasionally there's a drip, from the top of one of the columns where the column meets the ceiling. There's a drip, and you see water running down the walls, little tiny rivulets,
Okay.
a drop at a time.
So, all right. So that's kind of weird. Where's that water coming from? That amount of water.
Well, you get a +1 to your reaction to try to figure it out.
That is true.
Well, I mean, if it's really not leaking out, it would, and from the looks of the algae and stuff, it's not a very active down here. It could just be a drip at a time will eventually add up over a long enough period of time.
Is the floor stone?
Several months down here, I think we'll be fine.
The floor is stone, yes.
Okay.
It may come pouring in when it rains.
That's true. We don't want to be caught in here if it starts raining now. Oh, I mean, besides searching the south and north room again, we gotta, bust open one of these sarcophagus.
Are you going to try the sarcophagus on the south again, or are you going to try the one on the north?
Rekmit? Which one?
If we want to try the north one, we got to move the boxes. Well, one of you has to move the boxes.
So why
I
don't we
believe the
put
gold box is empty.
The what
Are
now?
you carrying all the gold?
I'm not.
carrying-
I figured everybody else got some too.
Is it enough that we could distribute and carry, Samuel, or is it more than that?
The box with gold in it is enough that you could distribute and carry.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's do it.
I mean, I carried it over, or one of us carried it over and set it on top of the sarcophagus. So,
Yeah, it can be 2-packed.
All right,
Yeah.
let's we'll split it up. You want to give us a number of how much we're carrying, or just wait till later?
Well, it's I gave the offer of if you wanted to sit and count these previously, but you can't just tell just by looking. So unless you want to take some
All right,
time to distribute it, then
Let's just move the boxes and get this other open.
All right, so let's move the boxes over to the end of the stairs so they're out of the water.
Right.
okay.
Excellent idea.
okay.
When you go to pick up the box that Gil brought out of the other room, it's really heavy.
Is that the gold or the copper one?
The copper one.
Ooh.
It didn't seem so heavy when he was able to pick it up out of the water in the other room, and then he walked it over to the sarcophagus and set it down. and it wasn't too heavy for one person to carry, but now that you've opened it and seen what's inside, it feels really, really heavy. It's going to take at least 2 of you to move it.
What about the gold one?
Does it feel like it's stuck to the stone or just heavy?
It's just heavy. The gold one's fine. It remained the same. I mean, you emptied half of it, too.
Put it up again. Let's see what's going on with this box.
Say that again?
Yeah.
We want to open it up again and see if something's changed in there.
It's full of small copper coins.
They're not like lead or something now?
Pump it out and see if there's something in there beneath the copper.
No, yeah.
What are you going to do with the copper pieces as you scoop them out?
I'm trying to catch him with a sack as he's scooping him.
Out on top of the sarcophagus.
So there's a lot.
I mean, I'm... Okay.
You just check them on the floor if need be, too.
All right,
Dump 'em on the floor, then.
let's do one thing at a time.
Okay, but remember,
So
there's a
we wanted to
foot of
move
water.
upstairs.
There's a foot of water on the floor.
Okay. 2 people, just carry it over and put it on top of the other sarcophagus. Move the gold box over there. Or
Okay.
put it on the stairs, whatever you want to do. And just get this other sarcophagus open.
Okay, sounds good.
So Jake will help out with that too.
Okay. So, so who's going to help? So you move the box over. It's really heavy. But you move it over just fine. You put it on one of the stairs, one of the dry stairs. And now everybody's standing around the sarcophagus. Who's going to help? Who's going to open it? Who's going to help open it?
Everybody, right?
Everybody, yep.
You can all get up, Pyro.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll take a strength siege check from everyone.
Yeah. This is a stone. Do I get a +1 to this?
Sure.
Not
You're
this
interacting with the environment. Absolutely.
Okay.
really makes no difference. Well, it is a prime. This is a primary, so although that makes it an 8 out of 8 total level.
8 prime. Okay.
Trip got a 7 non-prime.
Jake.
Gil got 3 non-prime.
Jake is 14 prime.
Rekmit.
Rekmit spits in his hands, puts his feet up on that column, and pushes and gets a 20.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
See him just straining.
Prime or not prime?
It's not prime.
Burnie.
I got a 23 prime.
Ooh.
Nice.
Purple.
With everybody working together, you're able to lift the lid up a ½ inch, because there's a ½ inch lip under it, and then move it over. Now the question is, do you want to, how are you going to open it? You're just going to push the lid off, or are you going to push it just to the side on one end? How are you doing this?
Just we push it to the
I
side.
would think we'd probably turn it some so that it's like catty-cornered on there.
Basically, so we could get
so that it,
to help leverage it if we needed to, but then so we could look into it like a little corner on the edge or whatever. We don't want it to fall
right, or if some
and the hordes of hell come out at us.
yeah. If something's inside, it can't get us. So yeah, that's perfect.
It's harder for it to get us.
Okay.
Yes, harder
Yeah.
for it to get us.
You look inside the sarcophagus, and there are 2 bodies in the sarcophagus.
Ooh.
And one of them is dressed in like vestments of a high-ranking member of the abbey. The vestments have the symbol of Aihrde all over them, partly using sort of gold entwined embroidery and stuff like that. The other is also dressed in vestments, but they are, well, Jake and maybe even Rekmit, because he's dealt with the abbey, would recognize them immediately as, and actually Trip might recognize this too, just because he has some spiritual components in his past. But this is obviously, it's pretty obvious the way that they are in here that the The one is wearing the vestments of a member of the church hierarchy, and one is wearing like spousal ceremonial kind of garb.
So if they're
Is it normal for them to be buried together?
When they have separate...
I'm saying party.
if they're who I'm assuming they are, I'm assuming it's the two names on the two sarcophagi here. Someone's taken them and put them both in one.
Yeah, they're both in Elroy's sarcophagus.
No, they're in
Yeah.
Patricia's.
Oh,
Patricia's.
both in Patricia's sarcophagus. Sarcophagi.
Okay, maybe we should open the other one and find out what we got there.
Yeah, I'm curious what's in there now.
Same drill. Everyone goes back over.
Yeah.
Can we, before we open the other one, should we like separate the heads of these two skeletons just to be safe?
I
That
don't.
sounds desecrating to me.
I mean, and the other thing is, you said their bodies. Are they well
They're
preserved? Or are
they're
skeletal?
skeletons. Sorry, I did say bodies.
Okay.
They're skeletons. Yeah. Sorry. That's my bad. I did say bodies. I meant skeletons. But they're, all you see is the skulls, but they have such an enormous amount of garb on them. You actually can't see the full skeletons on either one of them.
I mean, in every zombie movie, you always double tap the head. You know what I'm saying? But,
We are not in a movie. We are in the life of Narrheit.
you are correct. So are we gonna smack?
That's
Are we gonna
right.
smack the skulls or open the other one?
Open the other one is my vote. I don't want to file anyone.
Yeah, let's open the other one.
I mean, do we want to put the lid back first, though? Might be a bad idea to do that. We can move it, it just takes a bit of effort.
We might need to take the bones out and underneath the sarcophagus or something.
So you want to leave this one cracked and then do the next one?
Yeah. So let's go to the next one and open it.
Yeah.
Sounds like
Was
like
there any water in
consensus.
the sarcophagus?
There was not.
Okay.
It's a good thought.
So everybody roll me strength checks again.
Oh.
A little better. That is a 13 prime.
Can't hit
Trip
anything.
got a 7. Trip got a 17 non-prime.
Gil got a 15 non-prime.
Jake had a 10 prime.
Rekmit.
I had Burnie got a 6 prime.
Rekmit.
Gosh, what good rolls. Of course, mine's still only 17 non-prime.
And what did Leanise get?
13 prime.
So as you go to try to pick this one up and move it over, you assume the 1/4-inch lip that's on this one as there was on the other one. Everybody strains for a half a second, and then the lid very easily just sort of comes off and topples all the way over on the other side because of all the strength you put into it. And it cracks, breaks in half, falls down into the water. Now it's completely underwater. The sarcophagus is there. There is not a body in it, but there is an urn and a metal box.
What does the urn look like?
It's very plain, made of brass, with a lid on it that is sealed with wax. And it's only like 6 inches or something. It's very small.
I look at the dwarf, the halfling, and I say, "Do not open." Feet, do not open.
So what do we see? We saw an urn and...
Oh, so you want me to open it?
A metal box.
Oh, metal box.
The metal box is the same size as the 2 wooden boxes. It's about 2 feet long, and it's about 10 inches or so tall. About a foot wide.
Now that we got the lid open and everybody's checking it out, Trip's going to go over to the stairs and just lift the boxes to see if their weight has changed at all.
The copper one is still heavy.
Yeah, let's crack that sucker open and find out what's inside of it. I don't care about the copper coins.
Yeah, we can
Those
just dump
suckers,
the
the
coins. I'm
corner.
just curious.
Yeah.
So, Jake is going to cast Detect Magic. And in particular, looking at the urn box, the box with copper pieces, and even the gold. But, you know, working around the room, that kind of thing.
Seeing that Jake is looking around the room with Detect Magic, Gil will point out to see if you can look at where the lid of the sarcophagus fell and see if you get anything coming out from the water there. Curious if that's magical.
Trip is going to pose when Jake looks at him to see if he detects magic from him.
Magical treat.
The urn does not read as magic. The metal box is not reading as magic. The copper box has a very faint magical aura, but as you're over there looking at the copper box, you notice that the gates that were leading into this place also read as an aura of magic. Moderate strength.
Yeah. Relay this onto the party that through the eyes of Durendale, copper is magic, and so are the doors, radiating rather strong magic. Maybe stuck in here for quite a while.
Well, if the copper case of coins is a trigger that got heavy, maybe if we put it back, the doors will open.
Oh, maybe. It's worth a go. I mean, so many copper coins. I mean, I know there's probably a lot of them.
I still let's look and make sure there's not something else in the box.
And the only thing to find, we
Well,
may,
let's try.
may have to put the box exactly where it was.
Right.
So we
If
might
that
have
doesn't-
all those coins as well.
Yeah. Because if that doesn't work, then yeah, sure, then we can maybe try.
Well, if we get all the gold coins out and distribute them, then we can pour the copper into the other box and look at this box real well and see if it's got a false bottom or something.
Yeah, but if we put it back as it is without disturbing it, and then see if that triggers the gates, enables us to open the gates.
Well,
Yeah,
but
let's
we
try
don't know that the magic's holding the gates closed, because it wasn't the gates wouldn't swing, it was that they were running into the plywood. We just need to get up and force the plywood out and force our way out.
I mean, we can try that. You want to give it a go, Burnie? See if you can break us out.
Sure.
I mean, like before we mess with anything else or try to figure it out, it might be a good idea to see if we can escape or not.
I like
Okay.
securing an exit.
Before we release whatever's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go out and see what I can do up there. I'll start out just trying to push my way through.
What are you trying to do?
I'm just going to go up there and, basically just first off, let's see if I can just get hold of that piece of wood.
Mm-hmm. And push it?
And see if I can push it out.
So, between the bars, in other words?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me get a strength check from Burnie.
Oh, crud. 9.
You feel it move, but it feels like there's a lot of weight on the other side of them.
Mm-hmm. It's filled it.
Okay, well, it's just the dirt. I'll wait until I can try again.
Do you want some...
I say we could maybe send like Jacob or something to help.
Leanise will shut up. How's it going? So you've been up there for a little while.
Okay.
Trip is going to go over to the sarcophagus with the people inside. And I'm going to inspect their bodies, check inside pockets, see if they have anything underneath them. It's all due respect, but there might be a clue on how to get out of here.
Rekmit, what are you doing? What are you doing over there?
Nothing?
Get out of that.
You guys to keep up with?
What are you doing in there? Come on.
What are you talking about?
Well, why don't you get out of that sarcophagus?
Dry in here.
I could seal you in.
The bit's broke.
No, you don't understand. I can seal you in.
Just want to look at it.
What are you looking for in there?
Rekmit's going to try to pick up the metal box, see if how it gets heavy or if it blows up or.
The metal box, you can pick it up just fine. It does not get heavy.
Okay. Who's next to the sarcophagus? Any of you guys there?
Yeah, go say.
Because I'll hand it out. I'll hand the metal box out to someone.
Leanise will take it.
All right. I'm gonna go up and help Burnie real quick with.
You sure it's wise to take this out of here? Now, can we lay this metal box? You said it's like basically, it's a small rectangular box, right?
Right. It's about a foot wide. It's about 2 feet long, a foot deep, or I should say, it's like 2 feet long, a foot wide, and then like 10 inches deep. Right.
Okay.
It's almost the same exact size as the wooden boxes.
Yeah. So I'll put it on the corner now that the sarcophagus is open. I'll kind of put it on the corner, so it's going across the corner.
All right. Hustle up the steps in armor, grunting and complaining. All right. So,
Okay. Let's do it.
So what are you trying to do? You're trying to push out on the...
Yeah.
Give me a
I
strength.
rolled a 1.
I rolled a total of 20.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
I'll go into Durendale mode, trying to pull, whatever to this gate.
So you push the wooden, like the piece of what amounts to plywood. I mean, it's not really plywood because they're not making plywood at this time, but it's just these big pieces of wood, right? Almost like door-sized pieces of wood. You push them and you feel that they're kind of moving out a little bit, but it almost feels like, almost as if like there's a rubber band wrapping around them so that when you push, they kind of bounce back, right? Or like vines or something. As you push them out, there's enough weight on the other side that you can push them a little bit, but when you let go, they come right back into place.
And I'm even going to try to pull them into like the top of the steps. You know what I mean? Toward me.
Well, so you're just pushing on the wood. The bars of the gate is still
I'm
closed.
Right.
Well,
No good.
the other thing I could think of is if I get a hatchet and just chop the wood up, chunk it out, so that we get to the dirt.
Give it a go and see if it works.
Okay. So I'm going to take my hatchet and start working on it.
Okay. It's so you go ahead and you start that, and it feels like it's going to take you quite a bit of time to do this, like probably an hour.
Okay.
Is the
That's
door
fine.
taking damage when he hits it?
It is.
Yeah. I mean, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes.
Okay.
While Burnie's doing that, Rekmit's now going to get down and inspect that urn and see if there's any symbols on it or any words or anything on the outside of the urn itself.
There is a letter B inscribed on the lid.
Ooh,
in sort of
that
a
means it's Burnie.
fancy calligraphy kind of etching on top of the brass lid. Other than that, it's completely nothing else on it. It's plain brass. Doesn't even look. I mean, it's high quality. It's well made, but there's nothing fancy about it. What's Gil doing all this time?
Let's see. Gil is kind of watching. He's gonna see if anyone tries to open the metal box. He's kind of curious what's in there, but he doesn't want to be the one to open it first. So he's kind of hanging out, looking around.
Okay. Okay, so everybody hears Burnie chopping away at the door. Anything else anyone wants to do before he eventually breaks free of this place?
So
I'm going to reach out and touch the urn.
Okay, you touch the urn.
I'm going to try and slowly pick it up.
You pick it up.
Tilt it outside. Okay. And I'll set it on top of the metal box. No one's opened it yet.
Okay.
Trip is going to head up to the room to the north since he was bedazzled and didn't get to check it out. I'm going to go through there and kind of shuffle my feet through the water, feeling for anything that might be under the water,
Okay.
checking for any markings on the wall, listening and feeling for wind.
Okay. Roll me a wisdom check, please.
Gosh dang it. That's a 2 on the dice.
Yeah, you don't really, I mean, you see that there are some places where the ceiling's dripping, very much similar to the sarcophagus room. But other than that, the room's really nondescript. There's really nothing there that you see out of the ordinary. So Rekmit has now put the urn on top of the metal box. Burnie's still hacking away at the door. What's Jake doing?
Just checking out the sarcophagus button or latch or something. I'll look inside first, and then on the outside, and then around the base of the.
So which one? The one that the first one or the second one?
Actually, I'm sorry, the one with the 2 dead clerics in.
Okay. How are you checking around the bottom? Because there's a foot of water on the ground.
I would have my hand in the water, feeling around at this.
Okay. You don't really find anything all that out of the ordinary. It's a little bit surprising to you that there's not a lot of ostentatious decoration in here, but other than that, this doesn't seem like there's anything different about this sarcophagus.
And just real quick, what is the ceiling like? Is it a dome thing?
It's flat.
And how high up?
About 7 or 8 feet. Not very high.
Wow.
Would you estimate that it was the same height as the top of the stair? Oh, actually, yeah, same height as the top of the stairs, or
no,
slightly below it?
Much lower, yeah.
Much lower.
Because remember, the stairs, they're 20 feet, but it's very steep.
Steep, yeah.
Okay.
So basically, 13. That ceiling is 13 feet below the floor or the ground above, and then whatever the mound is above that.
The mound was pretty tall, I think.
Yeah, the mound was 30 feet.
Hey, Gil, you want to hold this urn for a second?
Sure, I'll hold you.
Okay. The metal box, I'm going to turn it so that the hinges are facing me.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't see inside. I'll open it up so someone else can look. And then if it brings something out, hopefully they don't get hit by it.
Are you telling somebody to look at it? Are you just turning it away from everybody and opening it, or to explain to me?
It's with respect to the box.
Jake to look into the box?
Not yet. I just want to make sure no one's in front of the box as I open it.
Oh.
Yeah. And he's on move out of the way. So the box is probably on this corner here. Like,
I don't have Owlbear open because it messed up my computer.
Okay. They're going to both move out of the way, so they're 5 feet off to the sides. I'm going to pop it open, see if anything happens.
Where is the metal box right now? Is it on one of the sarcophagi?
Yeah, it's on the corner.
The sarcophagi on the corner, so that the 2 feet is just hanging. It's on that corner.
Okay.
Not inside the sarcophagi, opening it outwards.
Okay. And everybody's far away. Is that what I'm hearing?
yeah.
You're all worried that something's going to happen.
What could be strange? A metal box in an empty sarcophagus. Yeah.
So
okay.
I'm in it.
You open that, and
hold my breath.
Close my eyes, hold my breath, cover my face.
Wait for screams.
You open the box, and anybody who's looking over there sees 2 very thin needles fly out and then end up curving and going in, falling into the water.
Yeah, good move.
Nicely done.
Burnie, all of a sudden, as you're knocking into that door again, the wooden part, it just flies open.
Okay.
I open the door.
And the gates now seem like they're movable.
Okay. So, is the wood now laying down on the ground? Am I seeing outside?
Yep, you're looking outside. You're almost blinded by the brightness of the sunlight hitting you now in the face.
Okay, got it open. Look around. Is there anyone or anything out here?
A bunch of bones from the dead skeletons that you fought before you came in here.
And they're not
Okay.
resistant. That's good.
Let's get all that stuff out here in the sunlight and see what it does.
Okay, now that I've got it open and whatever flew out, I'm going to peek around the edge and see if there's anything else in the box.
There's a pair of leather gloves.
Oh. But you said they weren't magical, right? No magic came out of this box.
Oh, the box was closed, so.
But yeah. Who was doing detect magic? Is it still up?
Jake was, yeah.
Jake
Yeah,
was.
I don't think it would be up. That's only a minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Leanise will cast detect magic.
The gloves give off an aura of magic.
Yeah, those gloves are magical.
What are they?
So should I pick them out of there? Or I'm afraid to close the box now.
Well, the trap's gone, but yeah, there's no point in closing the box.
But if we don't know that it doesn't reset, it doesn't have more stuff.
Right, true.
What the heck? Throw caution to the wind. I'm going to pick up the gloves.
Okay. You pick up the gloves.
I think you might need to put them on if you want to see.
What do they look like?
They are a light brown, very soft, suede leather, and they have a symbol of Eilor stamped sort of into the back of them. Not stamped, I mean like burned in, but like almost like a hot wood stamp, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to call that a top pocket find and put it in a pouch.
Holy shamoly!
Got some god symbol on it. It must be something for a cleric to wear.
We'll figure out what they are before we allow it to put them on. 'Cause
Yeah.
right now-
We can take them and I can work identify over a period of time.
Quickest way to find out what they are is put them on.
That is a way to find out.
That's what my grandpappy always told me anyway.
And is he still alive?
Yeah.
Does he have all of limb?
Well, most of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, a few fingers are gone, but other than that, he's okay.
All right. So I'm going to go check that copper box and see if it's still heavy.
It is heavy, but you can pick it up.
With one person or two?
One person.
Okay.
Did it still detect? Did it still go magical?
Nope.
Nope.
Hmm.
And the urn hasn't turned magical?
Correct.
And the body's nothing in the other sarcophagus has gone?
Correct.
Okay.
I'm going to get out of the sarcophagus, take that box, and get the heck out of here.
Kill
So,
him.
bring the urn. Bring the urn, Gil.
And then start heading out.
What's Gil doing? Sorry?
Yeah, bring that urn.
Oh, Gil
Collect the urn.
back in the sarcophagus, I think. Unless anyone's objecting.
There was nothing on the urn, right?
There's a letter
There's
B.
an
Letter
engraved
B.
B on the top. Letter B.
Did we bring a donkey this time or anything?
Nope.
No.
No, we didn't.
No, I'm going to have a hard time.
They turned him in and got their deposit back.
Is the urn small enough to fit inside the metal box on its side?
No.
Okay.
No, if we were going to take it, we'd have to carry it in a sack or something. But I'm wondering why. There's more to this than just, well, I guess if we just want the treasure, we can go. But why the two bodies together in one? And
That's
Well,
where the other two.
They put them in there and then hid the stuff in here because it seemed like this was.
I mean,
Did you hack through, or did it just suddenly open up, like it released?
well, one thing we could do before we leave here is go into all three of these rooms and search and see if there are any secret doors or passageways out of here. I don't think we've done that.
Yeah, you
we could
did.
do it again. We did, but now that things have changed, maybe.
Well, I mean, we looked around, but we didn't look for secret passages.
Leanise
Secret
did.
doors.
Well, Leanise and I
Oh,
did down in the southern room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not that I'm any good at that, but I encourage the people who are good at that to do it.
So far, Leanise has been very good at it.
If Leanise
Yeah.
will then do the northern, if with people willing to wait for a little while, because it'll take some time, then I can do the northern room.
Sure.
Yeah, no rush.
Let's have somebody make sure this doesn't close back up on us, though.
Yeah, I'll go back up and take up a position at the doors.
Burnie gets cut in
At
half.
the gate.
Yeah. So Leanise will walk around the northern room, specifically looking for secret doors.
Jake will start to make a litter of some kind to get the bodies out, in a respectful manner,
Oh, you're going to take the bodies out? And what are you going to make a litter out of?
Well, we're working on that. That would be the summer blanket that I carry, and I'd probably have to go out to the woods and get 2 small trees of some, or I could just try to, they're bones, so I could just make a large
Here you go.
sack.
Here's the hatchet. Go after it.
We've got the door.
So,
Remains of the door.
Yeah, that's actually true.
Shouldn't we just leave it there and talk to the abbot before we bring them out of here?
they need to go back to the Temple of St. Luke.
Well, this is where they're buried at. They were buried here, looks like.
So actually, Sam, are these, with the amount of decay and everything, these be the 2 of the missing clerics, possibly?
No, they're bones.
Okay. I just was checking with the weeks and everything.
Yeah. Nope. No,
Okay.
these are old.
Okay. Then I'll leave them there.
Okay.
I'm thinking maybe we could take one and move it to its correct sarcophagus. And not Patricia, but the male, I've forgotten his name, but move him over.
It's a great idea, Gil. Problem is we broke the top.
Yeah, so we can't close it. It's a little bit of something.
We can at least
We could put both halves of it back up there on top of it.
So who would be taking care of this burial mat out in the kind of Aihrde?
It's definitely something to ask the abbot about when we go back.
And they're taking care of the top, but bottom.
I missed that, Jake. You broke up. That's mildly.
They're taking care of the mound itself, not the tomb underneath.
In general, you would think that, Jake would think that if you're going to create a sort of little mausoleum burial mound, that you would make it so that it doesn't need to be cared for. Like, this isn't it's, even a cemetery, the only thing that you care for in the cemetery is making sure that the gravestones are in place and, nothing's disturbing it. It's not as if you need to do anything
You let
to
the
it.
sheep graze in there so the grass doesn't get too tall.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, if this is a true burial mound, they wouldn't necessarily assign a caretaker to it.
Right.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of undead skeletons.
Inside and outside.
Yeah.
And the green glowing eyes is reminiscent of Narrheit, so this, I'm guessing, has something to do with this urn. And I don't know about the gloves, but...
Well, and I would assume that since we saw those skeletal footprints coming here, but we also saw them breaking up and going to all the other locations, every one of those trails must lead to something similar to this.
Maybe.
Yeah, there might be quite a few around.
I was figuring we might have some type of underground passages between them, but unless he finds the secret passages, I don't think that's there. But
So
someone's
Leanise,
doing something out here.
Leanise, which room are you looking in right now?
The northern one.
You want to give me a wisdom check?
Yeah. Ooh, that's more like it. 18 plus 2. 20 plus, I guess, here, so 21.
You don't find anything.
Okay.
Do you have your one for essence of
Well, that's good.
So Leanise comes back after a few minutes walking around, goes, don't find anything up there.
Okay.
So what are we doing with these bodies?
I'm gonna leave them alone.
I would suggest you just put the lid back on and leave it.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing to do.
I mean,
Once,
Gil suggested moving the bodies into their different respective sarcophagi.
Yeah, moving.
Yeah, but the other one's messed up. The lid's messed up now.
True, but at least he's kind of where he's supposed to be to a certain extent.
Well, they are a couple, evidently, so being buried together is not the worst thing in the world. I mean, I don't care. I'm not gonna.
I mean, can we do it without kind of breaking the body apart?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. That's why I'm thinking it's best to leave them alone and not try to mess with them anymore. You said the sons or grandsons or some descendants of this family lived in town. Let them know, and then they can come out and decide what they want to do with their bodies.
The Abbey of Eilor is the largest cathedral church in town, and the abbot is Bran Wallether. That's his family.
It's a good idea, but you can let him know, and then he can determine what they would or should do, and that we left it back undisturbed.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Undisturbed. We took all the coins that were disturbing it out, so it was undisturbed.
Oh,
Yes,
what coin?
absolutely.
Yep,
I
definitely.
don't recall any coins.
And we won't even charge you for that.
We got rid of all the undead that were defiling the tomb.
That's right. Now there we might charge you something.
Yeah. But I think we should close the gates and put we can so as to stop other people maybe getting in here. Well, we're only a few hours away, right? We're only a few hours away from town.
Correct.
Yeah, we're not too far.
All right, so we close the gates.
Yeah, we could do that. We can even put what's left of the board back up and throw most of the dirt back on it.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to camp here for the night?
Well, what time? How much daylight do we have left?
A few hours. You can probably make it back to town in time. But you'd have to leave, like, right now.
Let's head back to town.
Do you want to go back to town, or do we want to continue our quest?
Yeah, there were the other trails. I mean, this isn't going anywhere, so it's not super urgent that we get back straight away to town.
But the problem is we have these 2 heavy chests
Yes.
and no beast of burden. Only a beast of burden.
So let's take the chest back to town, tell the guy, and then leave first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Since we didn't get that far, really, anyway.
We know where we're going. We know where the trails go. So we can as we head back, we can kind of see which directions the trails go.
Yeah.
We can at least
Yeah, I mean, you can mark the trail.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Hey,
do we see any trails going out of this littering area other than the one that we followed in on?
Just the one that you came in on.
Okay.
hey, Rekmit, you got someplace on your farm we could bury some of this stuff?
Of course.
Well, so we don't have to haul all of it around with us.
Correct.
Okay.
I mean, his homestead's on the other side of town.
Yeah.
So we could drop
We
it
don't
off.
have to go there first, and just thinking that might be a good place to like put the urn and some other stuff.
What was that, Alex?
I think that's where we're planning on spending the night anyway.
Sure.
We've been doing, so head there anyway.
No, I just meant it's close to town. It's just on the other side of the town. It's not a big deal. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
All right, so let's go.
So is that what everybody wants to do?
That makes sense. Yep.
Yep.
So are you putting the broken sarcophagus lid back on the sarcophagus?
Yes.
Yeah, we should do. Even though there's no body in it, we should at least do that.
At least cover up the one that we moved to the side.
Yep.
Okay, and so you're closing.
There's nothing in it.
Say that again.
I said the broken one. There's nothing in it, so you might as well just leave it. If we just cover the other one,
So
our due diligence.
You're not putting the lid on then.
My concern is we might just break it up more.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think so. Unless
agree.
somebody then wants to do it.
So it's not technically empty because Gil put the urn back in.
Yeah, the urn's all right. It's in its own protective chamber. We're just gonna.
Yeah. I get the urn.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think the urn's part of the problem.
Put the urn with the two people and let's close it up.
No. I don't think we want to leave the urn down here.
Oh no.
Why-
Bring it back, I suppose.
All right,
Why don't you want to leave the urn here? What's the logic behind keeping the urn here? Sorry, taking the urn.
Well, because something is corrupting this place, or was corrupting this place. They put the bodies in there and put that urn and that chest in here. Now, the gloves seem to be Elor based. So, that doesn't particularly look like the problem. So then, I think the urn may be the problem. Plus, we were really having a hard time getting that open, and all of a sudden it just sort of flew open on its own, and the door broke, or the top broke. Something's going on. I think the urn is the source of that something.
Well, the urn wasn't radiating any magic, so I mean, whether we leave it or take it, it's.
But what's magic may be
we know
inside
where
of
it
it.
is. All right, well, pop it open and let's see what's inside.
Okay.
Just for the record, Jake, I'm not the one who suggested we open it.
Yeah.
Be happy we are.
I just want to make some decisions instead of debating. Let's do it.
Deprive any followers of Narrheit of whatever this is for them.
Let's pop it open, see if there's
Let's
ashes.
pop
If
it
there's
open.
ashes, then we can seal it in the tomb.
See, even if it's ashes, I don't know if it's the ashes that should be left here, because they would have moved those bodies to put it in this one.
Okay, but you need to make it. Everybody needs to make a decision of what to do, though. So you're either going to take the urn or leave the urn. You're either going to open the urn or close the urn.
Right.
So
Okay,
what is it?
Uh,
So either it's. I mean,
think we should
everybody's
take the
debating.
urn.
So if someone does it, fine, or you can put it down and walk away. Like that's because I feel like there's not agreement here. So unless somebody starts to take action, then
Okay.
nothing's
If no
going to
one
happen.
tries to open it, Rekmit's going to pick it up and start heading back.
Excellent. Good move.
I
I'm
do
with
not.
you.
We can argue about it later.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm trying to push the sarcophagus
We'll
closed.
close the one to the north.
I'll help close the one to the north.
Okay. So you close the one, you leave the broken lid one open, and you close the other one, and you Rekmit took the urn,
And we head back.
and you head back, and you're taking the 2 boxes of coins.
Yep.
Okay. We'll take the 2 boxes of coins.
Okay. And are you going to stop in town, or are you just going to go straight through town to Rekmit's place?
I said we go straight.
Yeah, straight to Rekmit's first. Let's put everything
We need
down.
to stop for some ale on the way.
Let's get the coins buried first, I think.
Let's understand. And then let's.
Well, why are we going to Rekman's place if we can't take ale?
Well, we can come back and grab it.
Well, we're headed to my place. You can go get your ale.
Okay. So you get to Rekmit's homestead. Are you going to count the coins, investigate the coins, look at the boxes, or are you just going to dig a big hole and bury them?
Yeah, we should count, see what we've got.
Yeah, we should take a look inside now that we're safe.
Okay. So you find the gold. There are 190 gold coins. But you notice as you're sort of counting and looking at these, they look like very old coins. They have an old stamp. You know, they make the coin and then they have like almost like an all punch, but it's a circle that fits the exact size of the coin, and they hit it, and that's what stamps the symbol into it, right? Because the gold is kind of soft, so it'll take that. And this is one that you have not seen in a very, very long time. The copper, there are 5,000 copper pieces. And they are a little bit smaller than the copper pieces that you are used to seeing. But they're a little bit thicker, so you can tell there must be an older minting of that as well, right? These aren't actually minted. They don't have a mint. That's not the level of technology, but they stamp them all, right? And so
How many gold was there again?
190.
90.
But they're a different type of coin from long ago.
Correct.
So we might have to be careful if we try to offload these. We might want to figure out what these are at some point.
Okay.
Also,
So
when you get to the bottom of the copper, there are where did I write? Oh, it's right here. There are 3 gems. One of them looks like an opal, one of them looks like an amber, and one of them looks like a pearl.
what was the second one?
Amber.
Amber.
Polished amber.
Would they match the eyes in the statues of Narrheit that we have found earlier?
Nah, they look totally different. These are all polished, and they almost look like they were going to be set into some kind of jewelry or maybe some kind of family crest or some decorative piece.
Okay.
No, and Rekmit will hand Leanise the gloves if she has time or ability to identify what they are.
Absolutely, indeed. In fact, so we've got gloves and the scrolls. So Leanise is going to be spending some time doing identifying.
Okay.
Might take a couple of nights.
Mm-hmm.
So while he's doing that, we can get the boxes.
Did Leanise need to? Did she lose her hit points because we moved away from the gravesite?
I think the effect of the spell goes away, but she doesn't lose the hit points, does she?
She loses all effects of the spell.
All effects. Okay, so yes, she loses the hit points.
Okay, all right. Look, she's in.
So that depends on what region you say he was bound to. Was he, bound to the island, or was he bound to that dungeon? That's up for interpretation.
She loses the hit points.
Yeah, I was bound to the dungeon. That's all right. I'm safe. I'm in a safe place. So.
Okay, so let me give you your XP for Session 9 and Session 10. This is Session 10, by the way. So Session 9 XP was 212. And Leanise did the recap, or Chris did the recap, so Leanise gets an extra 50 there.
No, Alex did it.
No,
Oh,
that
no,
was
I did
today.
not.
I'm
No,
talking
that was
about
last week.
session 9.
That's right.
Session 10, Alex did it, so Gil gets the 50 for the recap. Session 10 XP is 235.
Might be close.
So here's what I have here.
Ooh, might have. Leanise might have leveled up.
So here's what I have so far. So Burnie has 1656 total. Let me know if I have a different number from you. Jake has 2287, which means Jake's leveled up. Leanise has 2337.
Okay.
Rekmit has 2312, which means Rekmit leveled up. Gil has 497 and Trip has 447. So that means that Jake can train and Rekmit can train if you want to. You'll have to figure out if you want to do that now or if you want to wait.
Well, seeing as we're already back to Homestead, now's a good time. Haven't quite finished spelled yet, but I'm close enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Okay. So right now, just so that you know, based on the calendar, it is Frostig day 10. Okay. Zeno and Bert started training on Frostig day 8. Okay. And if Jake and Rekmit start training, they will start training on the 10th, because it's actually the 9th right now, but you're going to rest at Rekmit's homestead, so you would actually start training. You'd go find a trainer on the 10th. Okay.
Okay.
And when we rest, you want to get this out of the way, so...
yeah, might as well.
Oh, actually, Leanise hadn't used any spells, so she could identify 2 items. And then rest and then identify another thing.
Before we go to sleep on the first night, I'm going to cast magic stones on 3 new stones.
Okay. So, which ones do you want Leanise to identify?
So, before we rest, she'll do the gloves and one of the scrolls.
Okay. The gloves are... Gloves of Dexterity.
Okay.
And the scroll is a web spell.
Nice. And then the next morning she'll do the other 2 scrolls.
Mirror Image and Floating Disc.
Okay.
Okay.
And we get hit points back, right?
Yeah, so you're going to get... I got to look at my house house rule again.
Is it D4?
Yeah, you get 1 back for sure, like automatically, and then an extra D3 hit points. Because you get one for sure, you get 1 for free, so you're gonna get minimum 2.
So I actually get 3. Oh.
And the following morning, Jake will have 2 pure light wounds and heal the part, wherever he needs to.
Okay.
So are we planning on staying an extra day? Because I don't have any spells left. Well, I have a couple of 0 level spells. And you potentially burnt your cures. Or do we just go?
Well,
You can.
Jake's heading out. He can be real nice and kill you.
Right. I'm assuming that. Well,
Yeah, if we want Jake and Rekmit to go find training, probably want to stay at least an extra day if they're setting off.
Whatever you guys want to do, but I have someone who could probably take my place, given what we found. Whatever happened to Blip?
Blip actually went flying off when you went into the Oxwood. Blip went off to investigate, and you have not seen him again.
Yeah, I'm assuming once we'd gone, Blip was cleared that place.
Yeah. So, a couple things to talk about. Number one, actually to finish that up, yes, we'll just assume you stayed one more night. So when we start adventuring again, it'll be Frostig day 11. Okay. In the morning. And second thing is, next week we are not playing because Steve Chenault, the head honcho at Trollord Games, is commandeering the stream, and so him and Chuck are going to have a whole bunch of different guests on. They're gonna have streams all week, and so that's going to fill our time slot on Wednesday. So we're not going to play next Wednesday, just so you know. But we will be back. We'll be back the week after. So they've got a whole week of activities and different streams that they want to set up, and with all these different guests and all this stuff. I'm sure they're going to announce it and talk about everybody that they're having on there and all that. But but that means that we're not going to stream next week. So we will come back to this the week after.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So that means we don't play on the 17th. But we will play on the 24th.
So we get St. Patrick's Day off.
Right. Yeah. So the other thing is, the other thing to sort of think about is, you're waiting for you're going to wait for a day and then go back out. So where was I going with this? So the thing is that the training for second level, that you have a week of training, right? So that's the thing to think about. So the 2 individuals who are training right now have only been training for about 3 days, and the 2 that are leaving right now are leaving on their first day of training. So.
Are we training? Is it going to require 1 week of training or 2 weeks of training?
For first to second level, I have you just do 1 week.
Okay.
And then after that, it's usually like the number of weeks for the level that you're getting. So at third level, it'll be 3 weeks.
Okay.
So, and then so the one thing to talk about very briefly here, because it's already 10 after 10 at my house, but the one thing to talk, and plus my computer's being so weird still, it's dropped about 50% of the frames on this stream tonight, so I don't even want to know what it looks like on Twitch, but probably not great. So the one thing to talk about is actually the fact that you were all very indecisive today. So so that's one of those things where in character, you know, how do I say this? It's one of those things where, because everybody's all invested and you want to try to figure out what to do, everybody's discussing like, oh, well, should we take this urn? Shouldn't we take this urn? How do we open the door? Is this stuff magical and all that? And it ends up being a conversation between the players rather than the PCs talking and doing things, right? Which, I mean, this isn't a diatribe against metagaming. You know, this happens all the time. It's fine. But in terms of it was very obvious tonight that happened, because then you couldn't decide what to do. Right. So,
we were,
yeah, go ahead.
we were all over the place tonight.
Yeah.
We were, yeah. And, yeah, we were playing as players rather than characters in a lot of cases. Like we're a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm. Which is, I mean, that happens, right? It's one of the things about this kind of old school game is not everything is a dice roll. So that means there's a lot more conversation in some cases, right? Like, and the other thing is that this, you know, one of the things I was going to mention, the second thing to talk about, which kind of feeds into this actually, is, you know, Bert is not there, and that's your rogue, that's your thief, right? So that's your sort of your person who can easily detect traps, well, relatively easily detect traps and all of that stuff, right? And so you don't have that, so what do? And I think Rekmit gave a great example of, okay, there's something fishy about this box, I'm going to have to turn it away from me and open it, right? But the question is, what would have happened if it had been locked, right? You wouldn't have been able to open it. You would have had to say, okay, well, I'm either going to smash it to open it, or I have to wait until I can get a locksmith to open it, right? So that's just one of those things where having somebody missing, you know, in a more modern edition of a game like 5th edition D&D or something, well, you just, you know, anybody who can use thieves tools can try that, right? But here, like, if it was locked, or if the gate was locked, you either have to use brute force, or you got to find some magical way to open it because you don't have your thief with you because he's off training.
Right.
So it leads to some interesting situations. And I think that's part of what happened tonight, is there was kind of this puzzle situation going on, and it was a little bit unclear of what part is magic and what part you're going to be, you know, who needs to be searching for what, and what are you going to do. And so it became this conversation amongst players rather than PCs because of that. So I think it's just a factor of, or an element of, or an effect of a game like this where it is very free form. So this one was hard too, because there's really literally no clues in the thing. Like, there's nothing on the walls, there's nothing on anything. So there wasn't a lot to go on. So I understand why it happened, but yeah. Anyway, so that's not, I sort of presented that, and then it's not really much of a conversation, right? Because I think part of it is just about what skills and abilities the PCs have.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't doubt Rekmit's curiosity.
Yeah.
Well, it's true, Rekmit was trying to crawl into the sarcophagus, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's just when you don't, like, once your thief is gone, then you just sort of have to, someone has to go, okay, I'm going to open the door, and if it's trapped, it's trapped. If it's not, it's not. And hopefully it's not. And so I've tried to do some of that, and the same thing with the boxes. I didn't even think about trying to do something turned away from me. I just opened those boxes, and Gil did the same thing. It was like, okay, we got to open them. We'll just open them.
Right.
I think part of it was we were trying to do too many things at once. You know, we're, you know, opening up a box. We had, you know, the barbarian or fighter up steps, you know, and that's a lot to cycle through. And, you know, we had some wounded characters and things. You know, if it would have triggered a trap or another encounter, I think we would have been in a really bad spot. And I try not to do the whole split thing, but I understand sometimes you need to split. You know, I didn't want us to be in a bad spot.
Yeah, we
Well,
weren't truly split though, because I mean we were all within 20 feet or so of each other, right? We're all in the room, so it wasn't that bad. But yeah, it's very easy to get distracted that way.
Yeah.
And I'll admit,
Speaking of the chests, Trip is going to take his 833 copper pieces and how many gold pieces? Or 110, 190.
190.
Well, there's
Because
31.
Trip is broke, and nobody let him have any of the money from the bows that we got together in the encounter. So he needs some funds. So Trip needs to take his 31 gold and 833 copper.
Trip, Rekmit will swap out. Well, I don't know if I can swap out all the gold, but I want to swap out as much as I can to keep the ancient coins, so that you can use regular coins in town rather than the ancient ones if possible.
Well, how about you just give me a loan of like 10 gold then? I should be able to make do with 10 or 15 gold, and I will pay you back so we can keep all the gold together.
Let me check. I can work with this plan. Yeah.
Say it again?
I'll give Trip 10 or 15 gold if he needs it as a loaner.
Thank you, my friend.
I gave him a pretty hard time. I guess I should loan him a little bit.
the copper Rekmit and Leanise, you guys think we could get away with passing the copper since it's pretty close, just a little different thickness?
Yeah, I don't know. You see, Leanise is wondering whether Rekmit knows anybody in town who could maybe value these for us.
Let's check out take a coin somewhere and have a couple of them looked at.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just need a little spending money because I was broke, so that should hold me over.
Yeah. Leanise is broke too because she put her deposit down on her armor, so she actually needs that gold to be worth something real.
I mean, I've got a little gold. I'd be willing if someone's needing some supplies or something to front stuff while we find this out. I mean, hopefully tomorrow we can go and find out what it is.
Yeah.
And know what we can do with it. And maybe it's worth more than 190 gold pieces.
Yeah, and the thing I totally forgot is we could sell the gems in town and use that.
We could do that as well.
Yep, there's gems too.
Kind of as a metagaming point, Rekmit's trying to save gold as madly as possible because he's got to have beakers and all this kind of alchemy set created, and it's kind of expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to act like a greedy dwarf, but you guys are buying good armor. I'm like, I need to go buy these neat little things.
So there's there is a money lender in town who could probably evaluate those really well. You could also take them to the Baron's place, which he probably has an advisor that is good at evaluating things. And
is the money lender discreet?
I mean, as discreet as a money-grubbing money lender can be.
Yeah, right.
You got to be more discreet than taking it to the dictatorial baron's lackey.
I would think so too.
Here Burnie goes again. At least it's in private.
I mean, what makes you think he's a baron or whatever he wants to call himself?
The king is what makes him think he's a baron.
Again, who's a king? What's a king? What's the big deal about a king?
Oh, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is what will be discussed at the beginning of our next session.
Yeah, and while we're waiting for the other day, then Leanise would have been copying web and floating disk into her book.
Sure. Okay. And you could, since you already have mirror image, you can either keep that as a scroll or you could actually try to sell it.
Yep.
So, okay. All right, well, I think that's going to pull us out of the game today. And so, once again, there's no game next week, but meet us back here at the same time in 2 weeks from today. Meet us back here next week, but it won't be us. It'll be Stephen Chenault and Chuck Cumbo, who is Babunski. So let's go ahead and sign out. So everybody say goodbye, and I will take us out.
All
Bye,
right.
everyone.
Good night, everybody.
My folks.
Good one, everyone.
And then we will stop streaming.